to bring a little bit of a youth perspective today, and it is true that young people, including young workers, students, unemployed youth, we're feeling the effects of austerity very sharply. So we see young workers today graduating, starting their careers in an environment where real wages are dropping, unemployment is growing, unpaid internships are the new normal, precarious part-time jobs are what we have to expect. And even the few good unionized jobs that are left, increasingly now we can only manage to get two-tier contracts, two-tier agreements where increasingly young people are being shut out of the benefits that have historically been won by labor struggles and labor victories. The situation is the same for students like myself. We find ourselves in part of an education system that has effectively been privatized. So corporate investment and tuition fees now actually make up more of the budgets of our universities than public funding does. My generation, we stand to inherit a society that is struggling to figure out how to deal with ecological crisis, that has been stripped or is going to be stripped of the social rights and the benefits that we've won through decades of hard-fought struggles. And so while the situation often seems to me to be very bleak, this May Day I also see so much potential. People's struggles across this province, across this country, and across this world. This May Day I'm looking to Quebec, which we look to so frequently in the historic 2012 student strike. Just a couple of weeks ago, 75,000 students were out on the streets again. The public unions there, they're working together under the Common Front. They're mobilizing and organizing workers to come out onto the streets against austerity. Today in Quebec, students and labor, they're working together to bring thousands of people out onto the streets behind political demands. Quebec is teaching the rest of this country what the real potential is when students and labor, when we struggle together, when we struggle simultaneously, and we struggle in solidarity with each other. So I think, for us this year, looking forward to May Day, we need to build these same kinds of broad, extra-parliamentary, mass, political, social struggles here. And we need to do it with the two most important tools that we have available to us, which are unity and militancy. Unity and militancy together leads to mass action, and mass action is the most dangerous thing to the ruling class. Mass campaigns around environment, around education, around healthcare, around childcare, these are the struggles that bring new activists into our movements, that raise the consciousness of society as a whole, and that can actually win the important victories that working people need so badly. So we need to build. We need to build around strikes. We need to build around social issues. We need to win out over the elements in our student unions and our labor unions that have been captured by a capitalist consciousness that prefer to embrace concessions before they embrace campaigns and class struggle. The ruling class, they tell us every day that we can't afford public education. We can't afford environmental regulation. We can't afford to pay working people a living wage. But I say it is not a question of money, it is a question of political priorities. The real things that we can't afford any more of are corporate tax cuts, bombs, oil subsidies, oil spills. We can't afford any more environmental destruction, any more poverty, any more unemployment. And the biggest lie that they tell us is that there is no alternative. That what we have now is the best that we're going to get. This time last year, I was studying at the University of Havana in Cuba. So I spent May Day last year marking 1 million Cubans. They were celebrating the gains that that small, poor island nation has made in feeding, housing, educating, and raising the living standards of all their citizens. I'm young. I've got a lifetime of organizing and a lifetime of May Days ahead of me, and I just hope that one day I get to celebrate a May Day in Canada where we've replaced the anarchy of the marketplace with a system of democratic social planning and a true commitment to equality. I hope that I get to celebrate a May Day in Canada where the people own the economy under socialism. Thank you.